do in the trainings is rip up the papers. So we would have papers, everybody would rip them up and write down some different states on them. And after some time, we started to see the same words coming up again and again on the cards. How many people here are familiar with meta-states? You've worked with meta-states before? How many people have never heard of meta-states before? Totally new? A couple? So, well, the idea in the cards is that, first of all, there's 52 cards in the deck and 2 jokers. In the English language, as far as I'm aware, 2/3 of the words for emotions are for negative emotional states. So if you randomly reach in a hat and you pull out a word for emotion, 2/3 probability it's going to be unresourceful. In the deck here, I made it the opposite. So 2/3 of the words in the deck, in general, are resourceful emotions at the primary level. So there's a couple of ways we can use the cards. Let me just show you how they work. This is going to be fun with a handheld microphone.
Ayúdenle a mi novio, por favor.
I can hold you.
Ayúdenle a mi novio, por favor.
My beautiful assistant.
Thank you.
So one way that I like to use the cards is just for a state practice, a meta-state practice, and a state practice. So for those of you who are not so comfortable with English, there's a lot of good English words for emotional vocabulary. So these are, first of all, these are English flashcards. So if you want to learn English and meta-states in English, that's the great first use. Another game that we play in a training environment is we have mix the cards and we have a random person pull a card. So I use this as a trainer in my trainings. If you're a trainer, they're really good for that. So we pull a random card and it says curiosity. And so let everybody feel curiosity. Have you ever felt curious before?
Yes, yes.
Whether or not you're going to graduate from this training? Just kidding, just kidding. All right, so feeling curious, and we get everyone to feel curious, and if we're a small group, we can share the story. Like, I was curious on my birthday what was in the big present box. So then we have somebody else pull another card, random, and let's see, this one jumps, guilty. And so we can do a meta-state, guilt about our curiosity.
Okay, okay.
Now, there's a booklet in here that explains all the interactions that can come from metastating. There's, I think, how many interactions? 18, 19? 16 different interactions. Some of them will be positive in general, intensify. Some will be negative. But we practice them. And when we do, even the ones that seem not fun, people will say, oh, I experienced that here. Or, oh, yeah, I have that a lot. Or, I remember a time when I felt guilty about my curiosity. So everyone, have you ever felt guilty before? Yeah? So what would happen if you felt guilty about your curiosity? So usually we'll have people make a sentence. Try it on first. So feel guilt. So for me, what comes up is I think about, I was curious about someone's gossip, and I felt guilty that I was curious. But nobody here has ever felt that before, right? So we usually will play 3, 4, 5 levels like that. Yeah, level on top of level. So for example, we can feel, whoop, which one jumped?
Esa.
Yeah. I know the my tarot people. Frustration. So you feel frustrated that you're guilty about your curiosity about the gossip. But nobody ever experienced that, right? So the first game that we use is like that. And we can put something nice on top. For example, we can be distracted. I'm distracted about my frustration. And you'll feel different, no? It changes the whole quality. So whatever's on top influences everything below. And then influences your emotions and influences your behavior. So that's one of the games. The people who buy the cards, they send me photos of the different things that they create. So another way we use the cards is we have people pick one that they don't like, that they experience frequently. So maybe fear or doubt or frustration or guilt. And or anxiety. Anybody here ever experienced anxiety about whether or not you're going to pass this class? So then we can put all the cards face up on the floor in a big pile. Everybody can look and create solutions on top. So maybe I have anxiety, maybe I need permission to, or I need acceptance of my anxiety. I need appreciation of my acceptance of my anxiety. Love my appreciation of my acceptance of my anxiety. So in a training group, sometimes I'll have them break into different groups. Who here feels fear, a fear group, a sad group, and an angry group? Who here tends to get more afraid? Of those three, fear is your general one? Anyone? No? Okay. Who here tends to be more angry versus sad? Where you've healed them all. 6 days with Michael, and we have them break into groups and build structures that they can use and then present back to the group. Here's what I experienced, and have people try it on. So that's another way we use them. Sometimes people will just pick a card of the day and keep it in their pocket. And today I'm going to practice focus. Or today I'm going to practice peace. And so that's another way we can use them. And the last way to use them is a card game. So you can see they're playing cards. You guys know how to play any games? In Mexico, do you have the game War? War. Guerra?
Guerra.
You have that game?
Yes.
Okay.
Guerra.
So we have that same game with these cards, but we call it peace. Paz.
Instead of war, peace.
The opposite. And the way the game works is you give 2 players. Someone want to come play with me, Manu? So we have 2 players, and you divide the cards, 1 for you, 1 for me. 1 for you, 1 for me. So half and half. And so you don't look. Okay, and then on 3, you flip. 1, 2, 3. So I have a 10, playful, and you have a? Unimportant. So my 10 is more than the 8, I win. So now I get to choose. Do I want to be nice and make his playfulness unimportant? Or make him win and he can be playful in his unimportance? So you can be playful with your unimportance. So try and experience. When was a time when you felt something was unimportant?
Someone was unimportant. Some subjects at college.
Okay, so a subject in college is unimportant. Now feel the feeling of playfulness. Have you ever been playful before? And imagine being playful in your unimportance about that subject in school. And share a little sentence. I can be playful in my unimportance about that subject in school because?
Can be playful about the unimportance of that subject at college because it's nicer to live that way.
Good. It's nicer to live that way. And so I win. I take those cards. They go on the bottom of mine. And we keep going. Whoever gets all of the cards wins. But the only other situation is if we put the same number. So I put a 2 and he put a 2. It's meant to be. So we have the same one. Nobody wins. What do? We do 2 more levels. So 1 and 2.
Otro mundo, sí.
Oh no, it's the same again. A king and okay, we'll do 1 more level. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, queen, he wins. So he wins all 8 of the cards. But we have to do 4 levels Meta-Estados now. And try them on. So, for example, mine is anger on the bottom. So I'm angry that we had a date and they didn't show up. I'm angry. I love that I'm angry. I love that I'm angry because it shows that I have strong values and I don't take crap from anybody. I can let go of my love, of my anger, because I can move on. I have more important things to do with my day. And I can bring trust to my letting go because I make my decisions for my life. And so we can all share our stories, practice our states, build community, build trainings, and also learn some English words for emotions. So anyways, these are the cards. I found them very useful. I love when people send me photos of the the structures that they've built, either positive structures that they use or ways of transforming limiting structures. There's an instruction manual with all the different ways you can use them. There's videos on the website in the box of the cards that show you how to use them. We can work with Adrian to translate them to Spanish if it helps you. And in the back, I think
Por
it's,
favor.
how much are the cards, Geraldine, or?
400 espacios.
400 pesos. So if you have any questions, if you're interested, let me know. And they're limited cards, so you know they're at least a collector's item. Thank you, everybody, for your time and energy, and
Bravo, thank you.
thank you, Michael.
Good idea. Thank you.